Okay, imagine this. You wake up, you're in a hotel room in Amsterdam, everything outside is quiet, muted, but inside your head, it's incredibly vivid. You're seeing your mother who's passed away.
Right. And not just a vague memory.
No, exactly. Like
Yeah.
she's right there. You see her freckles, her smile, everything. And there's this wave of just pure happiness.
So intense it stocks him in his tracks.
Yeah, he feels like he can't even turn around to properly see her, this living otherness, as he calls it. It's such a powerful way to pull you into Donna Tartt's The Goldfinch.
He really is. Sets the emotional tone immediately.
So that's what we want to explore today, this initial emotional landscape, meet some key people, and unpack the really unsettling things that happen right at the start of the book. And just before we jump in, you might want to check out Mindful Moments over on our YouTube channel. It uses AI analysis to offer some, different angles on books like this one. Really gets you thinking.
Yeah, it's a great way to kind of deepen the reflection. But starting with the book itself, that sense of displacement is just, wow, it hits you straight away.
In Amsterdam, you mean?
Yes. His isolation there. It's not just like being alone in a room. He's actively afraid of contact. He can't understand the news. It points to something deeper, doesn't it? A real internal alienation.
He feels completely out of step.
Exactly. Even before that incredibly intense dream, it tells you he's already wrestling with something big.
And that dream, wow, the detail is just astonishing. It's not some fuzzy, half-remembered thing.
No, it's sharp. Hobie shop, but dreamlike. Her appearance, so precise.
Her smile, her hair, he notes every detail. It feels, like he said, less like a dream and more like a
visitation. That's the word he uses, and it feels right. It suggests the lines are blurred for him, maybe because of the grief.
Between life and death, maybe?
Perhaps. And that paralysis, feeling so happy, but being unable to turn fully towards her, it hints at maybe a psychological fragility, like the intensity itself is dangerous.
Or could shatter the moment.
Right, like he needs to protect this feeling even from himself.
And that intense, almost painful joy in the dream is such a stark contrast to what we then learn about his life right before this, back in New York.
Yes, the school incident, suspension.
And that really unhelpful, dismissive phone call with someone named Tom.
That little snippet tells you so much. His obvious distress just gets brushed off. It really hammers home how alone he must have felt, even before the main events unfold. He's carrying this weight by himself.
Then the story shifts again, back to a memory, this time a museum visit with his mother. Seems normal at first, right? A nice day out.
It does, but Tartt is so clever. She weaves in these little threads of unease almost immediately.
Like the way his mother just stops dead in front of that one painting.
Exactly. Her reaction, how radiant she looks, makes the painting instantly important. But his attention, the narrator's, is divided.
He's noticing other people.
Yeah, this rather peculiar old man, the one with the limp and the young girl with him.
Tartt describes him so vividly elegant clothes, but hunched, those eyes set close together, and clearly fond of the girl. It's almost like a little scene from Dickens or something.
It is. And these characters, they seem like background details at first, but they're absolutely crucial later on.
It shows how carefully she builds the story, planting these seeds early on.
Masterful storytelling. Introducing these elements that only gain their true weight as things unfold. And then, of course, that ordinary museum visit is just shattered.
The explosion, the description of the immediate aftermath is just chilling.
That silence.
Yeah, the eerie quiet, then the distant sirens starting up, the ringing in his ears. The place was full of people moments ago, and suddenly...
deserted, empty.
Yeah.
Disorienting.
The way she uses sensory details, the lack of sound, the distorted sounds, the sudden emptiness, it really puts you right there in his shock.
Total disorientation. The world just flipped upside down in an instant.
And his reaction is really interesting, too. He says he feels stunned, despairing. He compares himself to, like, rats in a maze that just give up.
That hopelessness is palpable. And then the fear, he's actually scared to call the police.
Which is strange, isn't it? You'd think that would be the first instinct.
It's a pivotal moment. Why the hesitation? Is it just shock? Or is there something else? A reason he doesn't want to involve the authorities. That decision, made right there in the chaos, really sets the course for everything that follows.
And then things take another turn. The Barbers arrive.
This wealthy family, they just sort of take him in.
Very matter-of-factly, especially Mrs. Barber, offering him her son Platt's room, almost like it's no big deal.
It's a strange dynamic, isn't it? It's obviously a kind thing to do, offering shelter, but there's a kind of emotional distance about it, an impersonal quality to their generosity.
Yeah, a bit cool. So
Yeah.
he goes back to school, and the reactions there are all over the place.
Right. Some kids leave notes, gifts, trying to be kind.
But others are just awkward, keeping their distance.
It highlights how he's changed in their eyes, doesn't it? Marked by this tragedy. Even the sympathy feels like it sets him apart.
And the adults are maybe even worse.
Oh, the unsolicited advice. Journaling, memory collages,
Breathing exercises, throwing ice cubes.
and that recurring theme of guilt in their conversations. It's subtle, but it's there.
Like they somehow need to imply he was responsible.
Or perhaps it's their own discomfort, their own anxiety about something so random and terrible. Maybe they project that onto him, looking for some kind of explanation, even blame.
Then there's the encounter with his grandmother and aunt. That sounds pretty awful, too.
It's heartbreaking. He feels ashamed even thinking about staying with them, and it seems like they don't really want him either.
The aunt tries to sound sympathetic, but...
It rings hollow.
Yeah.
And then she notices his ring, makes a comment, hints at maybe some old family issues or judgments.
So much instability. And amidst all this, Mrs. Barber starts giving him medication.
Elavil, that little green pill, to stop him thrashing around or crying out at night.
But the dreams don't exactly stop, do they? They just chain.
They become these troubled interludes, as he calls them. Not full-on nightmares, but maybe more painful in a way.
How so?
He's always searching for his mother. In ordinary places, desolate places. She's always almost there, just out of reach.
And the worst part is waking up.
Waking up and remembering again that she's gone. That constant cycle of near miss and loss. It really drives home the persistence of his grief.
Then Hobie comes back into the picture.
Yeah, Hobie shows up, looking a bit rough, disheveled, seems agitated.
And their conversation is pretty bleak, talking about how people talk about death.
Those euphemisms died instantly, perfectly painless. Hobie seems unconvinced. He hints that maybe the official story about what happened isn't quite right.
He brings in this potential for a different perspective, doesn't he? Someone who might actually understand or at least share some skepticism. He could be a really important connection.
Absolutely. And speaking of the museum, there's that incredibly awkward moment in Hobie's shop.
Oh, with the stranger.
Yeah, just walks up and asks, "You're the boy, aren't you? Whose mother died in there?"
Wow. Just like that.
The narrator is stunned, silent. The stranger gets all flustered. He just rams home how public his private grief has become. He can't escape being that boy.
Even in what should be a safe space like Hobie's shop.
Exactly. And back at the barber's, that feeling of isolation just gets stronger, even with all the noise and activity of their family.
The summer plan's uncertainty.
Right. It underlines his precarious situation. And Andy, the barber son he's closest to, doesn't even like the typical summer stuff. Prefers his grandparents' place.
Dry land and an internet connection.
It just emphasizes how out of sync the narrator feels, even within this family, trying, in their way, to help him. His loneliness deepens.
And then the final blow in these opening sections, the newspaper.
Just lying there casually in the living room.
And he sees the picture caption, "The Goldfinch, Carol Fabricius's 1654 masterpiece, destroyed."
The exact painting his mother was so mesmerized by right before everything happened.
It's devastating. It connects his personal loss to this huge cultural loss in such a direct, shocking way.
It becomes this incredibly powerful symbol. And immediately you wonder, what's the significance of this? What's his connection to this lost painting, if any?
So yeah, these first chapters just plunge you into this world of grief, shock, loneliness, but also mystery.
Definitely. The dream, the explosion, these characters like Hobie, the old man, the painting itself, it all weaves together to create this powerful sense of unease, and you just have to know what happens next.
Absolutely. And for more ways to think about these themes and characters, do check out our podcasts and that Mindful Moments feature on our YouTube channel. The AI analysis can really spark some interesting thoughts.
It's a good companion to reading the book itself.
So if this taste of the Goldfinch has grabbed you, please subscribe. Maybe share this with anyone else you know who loves a deep read. You can find a link to get the book if you're inspired to pick it up.
It's quite a journey.
It really is. And maybe as you reflect on these opening scenes, think about how dreams work when we're dealing with trauma. Or how memory isn't always straightforward, how it shapes who we are now. And all those little hints, what do you think they foreshadow for Theo's future? What does it all mean?